a train come. You don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All right, folks, it's Nichols Live. Today is Wednesday. I am Larry Nichols. Let me get these numbers out of the way. If you want to listen in on the listen line, it's 401-283-6754 and press 1, channel 1. Or, of course, go to leadingedgeradio.com. If you want to call into the program, and I will explain today, you may want to call in. The number is 501-499-6022. That's 501-499-6022. And if you want to text me, it's 440-897-0611. Now, today, I'm having a rough day. I don't feel good at all. Comes with the territory, so don't anybody. Just don't. So today would be a good day for y'all to call in. I'm going to tell you a couple of things quick, and then, y'all call in and say what you want to say. Donald Trump gave his speech today. Those were good words. He said good words. Already, the media is attacking him and twisting what he said around. Doing the job that ordinarily a Clinton team would have to do, which is to dispute what he said and make it all out to be lies. But see, the Clinton people don't have to do it because they've got the media, willing media. You might as well know as well that the New York Times is trying to get hold of me to do an interview. And I will not do an interview with the New York Times. If I'm going to be roasted by someone, I'm at least going to pick who's going to destroy me and roast me or try to. But it will not be the Washington Post or the New York Times. These people are very capable of, if they can just get you on the phone where they can document that they talk to you, then they got carte blanche in their world to say whatever they want to say and make it out like you said something when you really didn't. But then you see, this is the unfairness of it all. They can say, Larry Nichols said this, and it turned out to be a lie, when in fact I never said it. But you see, I'll never get a chance to rebut and say, that isn't what I said. Fox News, when the New York Times did the story about Trump's girlfriend and said all those things that Trump did to her, well, the lady was at least able to get on Fox News and do a rebuttal and say he didn't ever do that, and she didn't say that to them. I will not be afforded that courtesy, not by Fox News. You see, Fox News is in the tank for Hillary. They're going to do everything they can to destroy Trump. Now, they'll do it covertly. They'll try to make people think they're fair and balanced. They're not. They're not at all. Just heard from Greg at Leading Edge Radio. We're at 7,400, just below 7,400 in counting. We seem to be holding at 7,400 thereabouts. I wish it were growing, but at least we're there. Yesterday, out of 74 some odd hundred people, I think it was 5 that helped. So why don't y'all call in 501-499-6022. 501-499-6022. It's your turn to talk today. I'm pretty weak. I probably shouldn't even be doing the show today, but I'm trying. I don't like not being here. I don't like not showing up no matter what condition I'm in. I know y'all would probably rather see me not show up than to be here in some pretty sick condition, but I think it's important that I show y'all that if you can breathe, if you can crawl, you can get in this fight, you can be here. And I just always want to show you that we can do more than we think we can. And when it gets down to the limits of what you think you can take, you're going to find you can take more. You can take a lot more. But you got to be willing to take the pain. I don't think there's anything on earth more important that I'm willing to take the pain for than my country and the future for my children and grandchildren. I don't think there's anything that would warrant taking the pain any more than that. And no one's calling. I wish you would. It would help. Give me a chance to breathe. Back to Trump's speech. Those were good words. He hit her pretty good. And let's see. We had one call. Whoops. Alden had sent me a message, but I didn't get to it in time. I think Alden told him to call back. Call now. Alden, let him call through. Let him call through. Oh, good. The Democrats are having a sit down in Congress for gun control. They're trying to sit down. They're so fat, they can't sit down, or if they get down, I don't know how they're going to get up. You see, the problem with what Trump did is what I told him about yesterday on this program. He said good words. But do y'all remember yesterday's program, what I tried to teach you about 40-40-20? 40% that hate him, they're not going to listen to anything he said. The 40% that hate Hillary, therefore like him, and those that like him, they're all in on what he said. The problem is that 20% that will decide the outcome of the election. They didn't hear what Trump said today. They did not. And by the time it gets milked down to 6 and 10 o'clock news, all right, Mary Ellen, thank you.
Hey, Larry, go get some
Mary Ellen, you're on.
Larry had something very... Yeah, Larry, can you hear me?
Are
okay?
You there? Yeah, you're there.
I'm here. Are we
yes,
okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
All right. I was telling Larry yesterday that I'm reading through the Bible and I'm horrified in Isaiah and Jeremiah and some of the other prophets and some of the horrific things that were predicted for the people who did not obey God. The pregnant women cut open and so on, even worse. And Larry's comment to that was, this is the way this region of the world has functioned since the beginning of time. And the Assyrians, the Babylonians that captured Israel and Judah were all from that area. And I had to realize that he's right. We're talking 787 BC, 586 BC in our Bible. So this is just their habitual way of working, and we need a better wake up to what's headed our way.
That's right. You know, folks, I'm telling you, all of these inhumane things that we see and hear ISIS doing, that's what they believe. That's what war means to them. Things that we think are outside the limits of war. It's not to them. I'm sorry? Okay. Yeah, Mary Ellen, we've got another call. All right, dear.
I'm off. Bye.
Thank you. But, you know, yes.
Hello?
Caller, are you there? Hello, caller.
Hello?
Hello, I'm here. Are you there?
I'm here. This is Elizabeth.
Hello, Elizabeth. How are you, honey?
I'm doing very well, and I'm praying that you're going to do okay, too. I wanted to call in and talk to the audience today. I appreciate so much the information that you give us. Sometimes I don't want to hear it. It's tough about the Clintons, but it's important that we know what scum they really, really are, both he and she. But to the audience, if we don't support Larry, we're not going to have this information. And what we do each day by not getting the money into him by the end of the hour, it's like there's a drowning man out there. We throw him a life preserver, and then we just slowly pull it away so he can't grab a hold. And we keep doing that every day, and it's not fair, and it's not right. I'm spending my retirement money, and I don't care, because if we don't win this, it's not going to matter. We're not going to have anything. And this man is trying to help us. Let's get together and do our part, even if it's just $1 or $5, if we all got in. And you can go to Walmart and send in a MoneyGram. You don't have to use your credit card. You take your cash and go there and send it. There are, ways to get money that we need to help Larry. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it.
Elizabeth, thank you, hon. Let me just say today, Brenda has sent 25. Susan has sent 15. Thank y'all. You know, Elizabeth, I just want you to know, all of you, I don't like being the way I am. I don't like it. And I damn sure don't like feeling the way I feel today. Y'all have no idea what I've gone through this morning. I can't imagine there being any torture chamber anywhere that would be much more torturous than what I've had to go through, but it's just what I go through. All I ask is just let me help until we defeat Hillary. That's all I ask. I'm not asking y'all to take me on to raise me. I'm not asking y'all to take me on and support me forever. Just help me do what I came to do. That's all I ask.
Exactly. That's what we need to do to pony up. And yes, what you have gone through, if people had any idea at all. And I admire your strength, your tenacity, your courage. I really honor that in you. It's absolutely amazing. I get tearful just thinking about it. I wish I could take part of that away from you, but we can't. The way we can take part of that away from you is to make damn sure that you get the money that you need every day. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's do it for Larry. And I hope the rest of your day is more peaceful than last night and the day before. But let's audience, let's keep this going for Larry. He needs it desperately. So,
Elizabeth, thank you.
God bless, Larry. You're welcome.
You too, hon.
It's my pleasure.
Bye-bye. And guys, I know. Look, I know y'all don't have money. I know most everybody out there has been stripped of every cent. It's going to get worse. The only chance we have for any of us, not me, but y'all, for you to have anything in the future is to win and defeat them. You think you have nothing now. You have no idea what is going to happen to your world November the 15th or 16th of this year. You have no idea. None. None. You can't go on. All in, by the way, about the commercial. Elizabeth did the commercial, so don't worry about it. It can't go on. Years ago, I used to ask people when I was well enough and able, there were things we needed to do to fight Bill Clinton. Ads that needed to be bought so that we could buy ads to get the word out. And I told folks back then all over America, I said, look, if you don't help us, there's going to be a time when you want to help, but then you're not going to have any money. I said it over and over and over again. And what happens is where we are today. Now, America, those of us that care about the country, have been stripped out of our jobs, out of our incomes, living on retirement that doesn't even begin to pay. We don't have it. I know that. What I don't understand is there's 7,000 plus listening right now. And I don't want to be a burden on any of you. Mary Ellen has paid way too much. Carla paid way too much. I can name person after person that's paid way too much. If everyone would send $1 or just $5 or $3, if we could just do that, then I could take the time to talk about what we need to talk about. And I don't mind telling you, it would sure be nice. It would sure be nice to be able to claim some kind of dignity in my life. Because there is none for me now. There's no dignity for me. None. I don't think any of you know what living like that's like. Being ashamed. I don't even like shaving. I don't like looking in the mirror. Because the man I see is not the man I've been. I don't like it. Okay, Chris, if you're there, come on in. Hello?
Hey.
Hey, how are you, hon?
I'm okay. I just wanted to talk about Trump when he met with the preachers. He met with 1,000 preachers yesterday. It was supposed to be about 400. It turned out to be around 1,000. And he told those preachers that he would do away with the 501c3 tax-exempt status for churches, which that goes back to the Johnson 1954 amendment. Lyndon Johnson did it to really get control of the churches so that they really couldn't preach the Word of God.
Right.
Okay, so now Donald Trump told them, they can't talk about politics, they can't talk about homosexual issues, they can't talk about abortion. He said, you're not as free as the normal man on the street. So, as far as freedom of speech. So he said, I'm going to do away with that when I become president. Well, you would have thought he would have received a standing ovation, but he didn't.
No.
He did at the very end. He did at the very end of his speech, but for that one statement, you would have thought they would have risen to their feet, but they did not. Now,
tell the folks, Chris, why preachers that claim every time you talk to them about, well, why won't you preach about homosexuals? Why won't you preach about Islam? And they always throw it in your face. Well, we can't because 501c3, we cannot. But that's not why they didn't stand up, is it?
No. I really don't think they want to be. They like money. That's why. They like money. They don't want to pay taxes. So when they remove the 501c3 tax-exempt status, which makes them a corporation charity, which actually makes the pastors and the preachers the CEO of the church, the corporation, then they're going to lose. They're going to have to pay taxes. So now
they're going to pay property taxes, Chris. They're going to have to pay property taxes.
I know. So it comes down to this. Choose money or choose God. Now, Jesus said you can't serve two masters. You're either going to serve one, love one, and hate the other, or you're going to hate one and love the other. You cannot serve two masters. The Word of God also says the love of money is the root of all evil. Not money, but the love of it. Now, it also says that judgment begins at the house of God. So that means to me it's going to begin with the pulpit. So I think it's been laid on the table, not by Trump, but by God Almighty. Choose, preachers. Choose, ye men of God. Choose who you're going to serve. Are you going to serve me or are you going to serve money?
That's right.
Now, what do you think about that?
Well, Chris, I don't think anybody in this audience has much trouble figuring out where I stand when it comes to preachers. I don't like them.
I know. I mean, we don't want to really talk about preachers, but we have to. We have to talk about it because it's an issue of today.
By the way, Chris, David said 50. Thank you, David. Thank you so much, buddy. Yeah, I mean, look, guys, the reason I don't like preachers is because in my world, the way I see it, and I'm not the most religious man on earth, and I certainly am not the one to teach y'all about the Bible. But the way I see it, if a preacher stands up in front of his congregation and does not preach the word of God, Chris, he's sending his flock to hell.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to church in awesome numbers today. You know why? Because they're hurting. And when people in this country hurt, what do? They run to God. Now, this is the same country that kicks God out of public buildings, the same country that kicks God out of schools, the same country that worships every other false god on earth, which can't worship Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
But when times get hard, everybody rallies to God's house to ask for help. For help. And these preachers sit up there, oh my God. And these people come to these churches and they think, well, I'm going to church and I'm listening to that pastor and that pastor's telling me stuff and he's going to lead me to heaven. No, folks, he's going to lead your ass straight to hell. Straight to hell.
Well, I tell you what, you confront them. You confront my husband was a deacon, and we are saved. We are born again, and we confronted the preacher of a huge church. And when we did, all hell came against us. Now, I'm going to just tell you people out there listening, you can't change their minds. You cannot change their mind. What you need to do is this. You need to get up and vote with your feet and walk out the door of that church. If they are not preaching the issues of today, Larry, if they're not preaching the issues of today, they are not agreeing with Jesus' words.
Well, now, let me tell you something, Chris. I'm going to take y'all to something you've learned from me about politicians. What have I told y'all? All the politicians care about is one thing. It ain't us. It ain't the country. What is it? It's their job. Now, folks, I'm going to tell you, you get to your church and you gather up those people around you in your church that feel as you, and just take an issue. Let's take Islam. Islam, to me, is an enemy of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that right, Chris? I don't know. I mean, I hope I'm right.
That's
right?
exactly right.
Okay, so it's an enemy of Christ. So when you go to your church, folks, and you ask that old pastor, and you say, Pastor, what about Islam? He'll say, well, now he'll either use the 501c3 excuse, say, well, I can't talk about that because that's politics, can't talk about it from the podium. Or he will say, you know, we hate the sin but love the sinner. He'll give you a myriad of answers. But here's what y'all do. Y'all gather together. And you meet with that preacher and you say, Preacher, look out here in this audience. See all these people throwing money in that drum?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Either you preach the whole Bible, all of the Word of God, or I tell you what, we're going out of here and watch this damn church burn. And I don't mean burn with fire. Watch it burn when it goes broke.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be amazed.
When the bank forecloses on their big debt.
You'll be amazed how those preachers will kind of get the word. Look, guys, I'm not trying to be ugly. I'm just saying this. Is it? Now, Chris, I'm asking you, because y'all know, everybody knows, I don't know nothing about the Bible much. Is being a queer sin? Is it?
The Bible says it is. And Jesus said, I came to fulfill the law, not destroy it.
Okay. Now, Carol Chaplin told me that God used the word for sodomy and he called it an abomination.
That's true.
An abomination, which is a bad word. You know, it's really bad. When you start calling something an abomination, Bubba, you're saying it's really bad. Now, the church I went to for about 4 weeks, I was sitting down and people were coming in and they were dressed all kind of like homosexual dress. I'm sitting there sitting by them. And I asked that preacher guy that I knew, I said, what's the deal? I mean, they came in dressed like they were going to that club in Orlando. And he told me, he said, well, Larry, here, we hate the sin, but we love the sinner. And we just don't talk about it. Well, I ain't been back. I ain't been back. What are they going to do next? What 10 commandments are they going to quit preaching? What are they going to do now, folks? Are they going to cut out some of the 10 commandments and make them 8 commandments? Because there's something that is not politically correct today, so it must be excluded. What about Islam?
Oh, yeah, that's Rick Warren. You know, Martin Luther, who led the Protestant Reformation, he made a statement when he nailed his thesis to the Catholic Church door. He said, though I speak with the loudest of voice and the greatest exposition of the truth of the Word of God, and fail to mention that little point that at the moment the devil is raging, I am not confessing Christ, and that means agree with, although I may be professing Christianity. So if they fail to hit the thing that the people are suffering the most at the time, just because they're afraid it's going to hurt somebody's feelings that's a big giver, or they're afraid they'll run up against the IRS, then they are cowards.
That's right. All right, Chris, we got a caller apparently, but thank you. Thank you, Chris.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I mean, folks, she kind of spit it out right there. She spit it out. And so Donald Trump goes before 1,000 of those creeps. And yeah, I call them creeps. Hey, Douglas, how are you? Hello, Douglas, are you there?
Buddy.
I've had better days. Better days.
That's what I heard.
Tell me about the thing you've been putting together. Tell the audience that may have missed it, what you're doing, and let's kind of get a status report.
We're right about $700. So, you know, a long ways to go. There's been a few people that have offered to give more than the $25, and we appreciate that too. So, I mean, that's included in that amount. So, you know, I think we're just going to keep getting the word out.
How many people have signed up to do $25 a month? How many people out of 7,400?
About 15.
Okay. Now, folks, I don't know this because I don't have anything to do with what Douglas is doing as far as seeing it and stuff like that. But I will bet you, Douglas, that if I went back to PayPal and I looked over the months since we've been doing this program, those 15 would be the same 15 that have supported us since day one. I bet they are.
Well, I won't dispute you on that. All I can say is that we need your help, and we need to step it up. You know, like I said the other day, I tried to give you a few ideas on, you know, way you could, you know, just pull together the $25. I mean, by the way, Chris has the information to log into that account. She could look at it too. I know I sent it to her, but you know, if you can't get a hold of me and you want to look in there, that's fine. And yeah, I'm just trying to keep a little, you know, database together so we can email out and give updates on that and get an idea of, you know. So if you are planning on helping and you're just not feeling comfortable signing up, we're not going to use your email ID for any advertising or, you know, giving it to anybody. We're just trying to keep track and be able to contact you to let you know where we're at going forward.
Well, Douglas, I appreciate your effort. I do. And we're hoping that people will get involved and help. I'm hoping. And again, Douglas, I'm sorry. You know, I'm asking people to help me, and that's so tacky.
Yeah, and folks on the line, I just, you know, want to try to reiterate that is part of the point too. So Larry doesn't have to beg, and he can do what he needs to do, and not be stressed about, you know, getting his treatments. And so, you know, there's several sides to this coin that I think this could solve if people would just step up. And, you know, I went with the number of 600 people at $25 that would, you know, definitely cover this for Larry. If there really is 7,400 people out there, 600 of them doesn't seem like a stretch, but please consider it and please contact us. It's on Larry's wall on Facebook, or, you know, if you want to write it down, if you got a pen and paper, it's Larry Nichols donate at gmail.com. And please drop us a line and just say you're in, and we'll count you. You know, if you do want to give more than $25, we're not going to turn that down either.
But let me say this, Douglas: if somebody can only do $1 a month, that's fine. I know it's not in your plan.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I don't want us to. I don't want us to exclude anybody. I don't.
I'm with you. So yeah, any amount you feel like you can give, let us know, because we'll you know, certainly count you and put that in the total. So.
All right, Doug. Thank you, my brother. Thanks.
Okay. We'll keep praying for you, brother. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. So, folks, you see, there's a lot of us, and we've got a mission. And I know maybe some of you are sitting out there and saying, well, we're coming every day and we're hearing you talk there, but we're not engaging the enemy. That's y'all getting impatient. Don't be impatient. Don't. The time will come. Remember, this race has not defined itself yet. We're pretty sure Hillary is the nominee for the Democratic side. I'm not sure at all Trump is the nominee for the Republican side. Hello, caller, are you there? Yes, sir, I'm here. Are you there? Yes, go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hello, Larry?
Yes.
Okay, listen, I'm wanting to know that I did just get put $20 in the regular mail today, and
Thank you.
So I think a lot of people are afraid of this PayPal. I'm kind of afraid of it, so I don't use it. But Larry's address, if you want to send it by mail, people, is 58 Kensington Drive, Conway, Arkansas. I'm going to say this again, though. Conway, 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 Arkansas, 72034. Now, a lot of people didn't have time to pick up a pen. So please, anybody that hasn't picked up a pen yet, please pick up a pen and write this down. It's Larry Nichols, 58, Kensington, Kensington Drive. That's Kensington Drive. That's 58 Kensington Drive, Conway, Arkansas, 72034. So I've sent off 20 today, Larry, and that's how I do it. Also, I'm wanting to know if you could tell me you said that Trump only had a million or something like that in his campaign,
right?
And then she had 44 million, but he's a multi-billionaire. I'm just wondering what you're referring to when you say that.
Well, what I'm saying is in the filings that came out yesterday, or maybe it's the day before, Trump shows in his campaign what he has to spend in his campaign right now is $1.3 million. Hillary has in her campaign coffer right now $44 million. Now, in addition to Hillary having 44 million, she has two PACs. And these PACs, folks, are these groups of people. Now, you see in a PAC, what's really neat about a PAC? Anybody can give any amount they want to give to a PAC. Now, remember, somebody says, well, John Doe is a millionaire and he's given $1 million to Hillary's campaign. No, he can't. I don't care if he's a millionaire or billionaire. He can't give any more than the lawful amount of money, which is like $5,000, to any candidate's campaign. That's all he can give. So they created these PACs. Now, a PAC is a group of people that are, quote unquote, supposedly independent of the campaign. They're totally independent of the campaign. They cannot talk to the campaign and work out strategies. But anybody can give any amount they want to give to a PAC. So a billionaire can give $1 billion to a PAC, and then the PAC buys their own ads, both promoting the candidate that they like and smearing the candidate that they don't like. It's a racket. It's a way, once again, for the system to cheat, for the people in power to stay in power. It's how they just keep rigging it. They just keep rigging it. She has not one, but two PACs that have over 50 million each in them. So right now, this day, Hillary has over $150 million to spend in her campaign to defeat Donald Trump if he is the nominee. Now, as I was told by Greg Martin yesterday, Ed Rollins has formed a PAC for Trump. But they hadn't posted how much money they got. And I bet you Ed Rollins, because I've known him for 30 years, I bet you he doesn't have much money. And I'll tell you why. The big givers to the RNC, to the Republican National Party, National Committee, the big historic givers, they're supporters of the system the way it's always been. And you know what? They're not going to give to Trump. They're not going to give to Donald Trump. And you ask about Trump being a billionaire. That's his money. That's his money. His campaign has 1.3 million. He's a billionaire. His interest amount to over 10 billion, as I understand. But remember this, his assets and everything amount to over 10 billion. That does not mean he's got 10 billion cash on hand that he could loan his campaign. That doesn't mean he's got that kind of money to put in his campaign. Donald Trump is going to have to raise, are you sitting down? He's going to have to raise to defeat Hillary and match what she will be spending. He's going to have to raise about $1 billion. Right at $1 billion. And I know y'all are saying, well, why has he got to do that? Because, he's run so far without that much money. You're not listening to yesterday's program because I'm telling you, the media is not going to promote Donald Trump against Hillary Rodham Clinton. They're not. The only thing that's going to be given to him in free media from the media is going to be stuff that cuts him to shreds and works to destroy him. And if you know 40-40-20, which is what, listener, I'm trying to teach y'all, 40-40-20, if you understand it, you know that the people that are going to win this election for either candidate, Trump or Hillary, is that 20% of the population in this country that don't care. They don't listen to politics. They watch basketball. They do all kinds of things, but politics ain't there. They only get involved in politics probably the last couple of weeks of an election. Then and only then. And unfortunately, they are low knowledge voters. They don't know nothing. So how do they vote? They vote generally on the person that they believe the polls tell them are going to win. And that way they say they voted, and guess what? They get to brag. They voted for the winner. Trump's going to have to reach those people one way and one way only, caller. One way and one way only.
Well, this is where you come in, Larry, because you have inside information about Hillary that will cause her to have to, as you leak it out a little bit at a time, cause her to have to divert her campaign money to fighting these allegations that are this information that you're leaking out. She's going to have to try to counter it, and it's going to cost her a lot of money to do it.
I'm going to do that.
This is why we need to keep you alive. This is why we need to keep Larry alive to get through this. He's going to do some major fighting here real soon for us. And we need to donate because this is for our benefit, not just his. It's for ours. It's for our benefit. It's for us that we're donating to him. It's selfish, but it's true. I'm donating to you, Larry, for selfish reasons. Not because I love you. Yeah, because I love you. but because I benefit greatly from you staying alive through this campaign, and people need to see that. Thank you.
Well, and I want you to be that way. I want you to be that way. I don't want it to be about me. It better not be about me. I ain't worth it.
I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for me because I know you got major information against her that can greatly cause her to lose this election. And I'm doing it for me, Larry. I'm doing it for me. I'm keeping you alive for me and my children.
And remember this. For me to get my information out on Hillary, we've talked about this. The mainstream media, no matter what I bring out against Hillary, the mainstream media is going to try to cover it up. They are. They're going to try to cover it up. That's why we have to have what? Donald Trump. Any other candidate, caller, this is Bill, right?
Yes.
Now I call you Bill. I don't like calling you caller. Bill, any other candidate that the RNC would put up against Hillary, they're not going to touch the truth about Hillary. They're not. Because if they bring out stuff against Hillary, you know what? She's going to bring out stuff against them, and then they're going to get destroyed. Trump don't care. Trump don't care. So Trump is the only candidate we got that will take what I have and get it out to the public. But he's got to get it out how? By buying ads and talking about it. That's why he's got to have money. Now, if I'm a little nervous, Bill, there's an SUV that is pulled up in my front yard, and it's just sitting there. And
do you have anybody listening that can come out there and check that vehicle?
No, it's just me.
Somebody needs to call the police right now that's listening to this radio program.
Don't bug them. Don't bug them. Good God, don't bug the police. Heaven help us. That could be just anybody driving down the road. You don't want to cry wolf. Folks, don't do it. I assure you, if it's anybody coming to hurt me, they're going to get a surprise. And they ain't going to like it. Remember, Bill, I'm the one that told y'all about the crossbow and the bow.
I'm sure you got more than just a crossbow, though.
Just know this. They would get an awful big surprise. It's just I have to be aware. And it may be somebody here that's just friend, supporter. I don't know. That's why it's hard for me. People don't come to my house without calling and let me know you're coming because I get a little nervous. Well, now they're pulling off, so maybe it wasn't anything anyway. But back to what I was saying, Bill. This is why we have to be smart. I'm going to make Hillary commit of that $1 billion she's going to have. I'm going to make her spend 60% of it or better countering the stuff that I'm going to bring out against her. And then that means that 60% that she was going to spend trashing Trump, she ain't going to be able to do it. That's how we win. But I can't help Trump when Trump don't even talk to me or listen to me or any of it. How can we help? How can I help him? I don't know. I just really don't know. I just don't know. But I will say this. We're going to fight. Just, if y'all don't mind helping me, just help me. Keep me to where I can be in the game. I'll do my part. Remember, Bill, you think it's bad for me right now. All right? When I fought Bill Clinton, Bill, I didn't have 7,400 of y'all. I didn't have nothing. Nobody. We're stronger today than we were when I fought Bill. And you know what? The media was just as aggressive against me then as they are today. They were protecting the Clintons back then, just like they are today. But the things that I know how to do, that I'm trained to do, that will help us. I promise you. All right, Bill, I think we've got another caller, my friend, but thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for telling people you can just send it in the mail. Please send it in the mail if you can't do PayPal or whatever. Have we got another caller, Alden? I'm sorry. Hello? Yes, caller, are you there? Hello, caller.
Hey, Larry, it's Carla.
Hey, Carla. Thank you. I got yours. Miss
Cool.
Carla's always there.
I
Yes,
try
ma'am.
to be. Larry, the reason why I'm calling is I'm trying to find a way to get some leverage on some people, in that. So I guess there's a couple things that I would like to say is. I got to gather my thoughts because my head is spinning right now.
It's all right. You're all right.
I guess one of the things that I want people to know is I have a medical background, and I understand what you go through, and I don't think people understand this. I just found out that you're only getting half of your dosages, and what I don't think people understand is you need to get your full dosages. You need to get your medicine every day, because certain things, when you have certain illnesses and that, you can't go without your medicine. And I'm sure everybody, when they get to be our age, they've been to the doctor a few times, and that's what they tell you. So when you're not getting your medicine, the medicine isn't being used effectively. So you're not getting what you should be getting, so therefore you're not able to get better. And doing this yo-yo thing, it's very hard on your heart, and in that you have complications with that all the time. So what I'm trying to get across is Larry's got to get his medicine every day, and he's got to get the right dosage. And I don't know if it's people aren't understanding this, people don't know what they know, but I'm telling you, now you know. This man has to get his correct dosage. He's got to get it every day. Because if he doesn't, you're putting more stress on his body, his organs, and even mentally. I mean, I've heard him day after day. The last 10 minutes, his whole state changes. And here's the thing: is everybody's claiming that they're in this fight with his cause. Well, guess what, people? You're giving Hillary exactly what she wants. You are giving her exactly what she wants. You're making her day. So by not helping Larry, she's getting off on it. So are you guys being passive aggressive? You think this is cute? I'm not here to be nice. You passive aggressive. You want to play these games. This man, we have one important commodity in our life, and it's our time. He's taking his most valuable commodity and spending it with us to help us. And you're playing games? Now, I brought up something yesterday. When I give to Larry, I don't care if it's a write-off, it's whatever, and that. And I give to him because I've gotten where I know him. I'm not giving to these big organizations where the CEO and all the top key people get 90% of my dollar, and only 10% maybe goes to the cause. When I give it to Larry, 100% of whatever I give him goes to him, and I don't give a rat's ass if I get a write-off or not. And I gave the suggestion yesterday that maybe people can, if they donate in other areas, maybe they can reorganize and restructure and take that same amount of money and give it to Larry. My belief is I'd rather give it to somebody that I know instead of some big, fat corporate, you know what. And that's what I mean with that. And and that's all
Carla,
that's all I'm saying is
you've been a good friend. You've been a good friend. And I maybe you can tell people, I try to reciprocate. I try to be a friend. I try to, folks, I give my phone number out. Call me. Lately I've been so sick, I haven't been really able to talk to everybody.
I had to call Larry up. I called Larry up a couple weeks ago because I had something very bad happen to me. And I have no problems disclosing what happened to me on the show, and that so other people don't go through what I went through. But he was there to help me. He didn't judge me. He didn't do nothing. He was there to help me. And see, I'm giving to him because I want to help him. I'm not doing this for any other reason. And what ends up, all you guys that are in church and religion and all this stuff, when you do something as for free will, I try to help Larry as much as I can. I give for free will. And what's happening is there's a lot of other things that are happening that's positive for me in my life. And that's how the universe works. That's how God shows you that he's real, is when you do something out of free will, not for a motive or whatever, he pays you back in different ways. That's how God proves that he's real. And what you guys aren't getting, people, Larry setting the frame up, this is a military frame, we're all, whatever. You don't leave your general behind. You're trained that you never leave a soldier behind. And when you're doing that, you're not giving Larry anything. You're leaving the key person, your general, behind. And $1 is totally acceptable. Anything above that, it's icing on the cake. And if you can get the numbers, just give $1. Just give $1. And at least you're doing your part. You're doing your part. By sitting here not doing anything and that, you're passive aggressive and you're leaving him behind. And I guess that's all I got to say.
Well,
and Larry, I need to let you go because I know the show's running out of time.
Yeah. Thank you, dear. Thank you, Miss Carla.
Thank you, Larry. We love you so much. Bye-bye.
You too. Look, guys, I appreciate you all. I do. We're in it together. We might as well face it. We're in it together. We don't have really a good hand dealt to us because of me, and I know that. I'm the weak link. But I can beat Hillary. I can beat her. I can beat Hillary. There's a reason the New York Times is calling me. And they're trying to destroy me. They're trying to roast me. Please know there's a reason they're going to that trouble. They're not going to that trouble with Roger Stone. They're not going to that trouble with all these other people. They're coming after me. They're coming after me because I'm the one. I'm the one that Hillary's can't go around. She can't go under. She can't go over. For Hillary to get to that White House, she's going to have to come through me. That's all I ask. Help me. Well, we're out of time. All right, Alden said, please apologize to the caller. We missed callers that we missed because we missed like 10 or 12 callers that couldn't get through. We'll make up for it due to how I feel. Everybody just know this. This is a rough time physically for me. So it may be that tomorrow we may have to let y'all call in. So if you didn't get in today, we'll try to get you in. I want y'all to talk. We'll be here tomorrow, hopefully. See ya.
Over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of.